What's happened over the last 20 years in terms of the industry, the professional industry of creativity, of the production of music and movies and photography?
We have the internet. Things have been digitized.
Right.
And this is all stuff that people know.
But what does that mean?
What that means is that now we have access to everything, and that people that want to be content creators can be that, from the smallest little kid to the most experienced filmmaker. And now this most experienced filmmaker has to deal with the attention that this little cat is getting on Instagram, right? He has to deal with that. So a lot of people I can take it from movies to music. When it was, you had to work to sit at the cool table. When we were coming up in the music business, there was an access that everyone didn't have. You had to either save up money, you had to either sign a deal, because you couldn't afford to just pay to go in the studio, let alone could you pay for 1 million duplications of something and send it out. Now, the things that we studied for so long and we were considered experts at that particular thing can now be absorbed by a high school kid in a week. So the day of, I'm a musician, some A&R comes and sees my band at some local pub and makes me this superstar, is gone. Now you have to get online and make yourself aware to that A&R person. The A&R is not coming in going, okay, I like this band, let's sign them. He's looking online to say, what band in that area is gaining the most attention? If you're not gaining any attention, why would he sign you?
But why is that different in 2016 from 1996?
Because the way in which you could receive that was only through some sort of medium. Before the internet, before we could digitize things, I had to either put this on a piece of wax, or I had to put this on a cassette tape, or if you're old enough, an 8-track tape. And then we figured out a way in which to digitize this. We made it zeros and ones, so that now it's transferable. We all know that story. Once I can digitize something, I can send. When we first moved into the computer, I was like, oh, this is great. I was one of those people that I don't like having a lot of different pieces of equipment. I always wanted one piece of equipment that would allow me to do everything that I wanted to do. So we moved into the computer, I was like, this is great. I can have all of my sounds in there. I can program everything. And then when I first realized I don't like mixing with the mouse. That's not the way we are. We're human beings. We are tactile, creatures. I have 10 fingers, and I want to be able to touch things and move things at multiple times instead of hitting one parameter, should we say it, with a mouse and just moving in this direction. So the programs themselves have gotten to great levels. Where you're going to see innovation is the way that we as humans interact with those programs. So what type of keyboards are we using? What type of controllers are we using? That's the key.
Essentially, we're building a device that basically allows you to design your own physical interface. Just like what Yunguru was saying, is that right now we interact with computers primarily through keyboard and mouse, and it's just not good enough. So there's a reason that that mixer boards exist, because they make your job easier, they make it more intuitive. There's a reason that all these different devices, like pianos, MPC controllers, there's a reason that they exist. And so what we're trying to do at Sensal is bring all those physical experiences into one device that kind of does it all. And we're also allowing people to design new interfaces. So for content creators, they're used to using an interface that someone else designed. We want to put that power in the user's hands, so they can not only generate new content, but create new interfaces that can create content that we don't even,
All businesses are going to go through this same thing. I don't care who you are. When we have automated cars, then we're going to knock out all the cab drivers in New York City, and we're going to have a major problem at that point, because the entry level, again, we're going to be knocking out the middle class. We're going to be knocking out those people that have entry level jobs. This is going to hit everything. When we have doctors that we can have the watch on, and the watch is going to be able to tell us some of the basic things, then only the specialist doctors are going to be necessary. This is going to hit everybody. It just hit us first.